Ladies and gentlemen, people are bullish right now. We look at a poll I did just 2 days ago with 2,300 votes, and we see the results saying that 81% of people believe that Bitcoin will go to new all-time highs. 81%. That's an overwhelming majority. Now, I am bullish on this YouTube channel, of course, so you could argue that this poll is skewed to the bullish argument. But I would push back against that. Of course, this channel, of course, you're not going to get an unbiased poll on a YouTube channel. That's just not possible, right? Because people watch the YouTuber and they mimic their YouTuber's opinions. But if we go back just like 2 weeks ago, we can see these polls are more like 50-50 every single time, right? 50-50 every single time here, just a couple of weeks ago, even going into 4 weeks ago. So, you know, it's clear that most people have flipped back to being bullish, and a very significant portion of those people did flip because they were bearish just a couple of weeks ago. So what is so bullish about these charts right now? And what is the general situation with the charts right now? Well, I'm making the argument today that all of these charts, Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, they're all connected. And everyone already knows that, but they're connected on a structural level as well. And I'm actually quite bullish on all of these charts right now. I think they look very good. Short term is up for debate. We'll debate it a little bit today, but medium-term basis and long-term basis, these charts look great to me. So let's get into that. And then we'll also get into Bitcoin dominance. We'll look into that briefly because there is going to be a dramatic shift here soon. I believe we will be entering an altcoin season upon the break of all-time highs. That's where I believe it will start. So we'll look into that as well. We'll also look into S&P 500. We'll try and keep it quite short because these are just basic rudimentary kind of medium-term analyses and long-term analyses. So let's get into it. Before we do so, one thing, Bitunix and BingX. These are our sponsored exchanges on the YouTube channel, right? With the links down below, my referral links. You can click on those, you can sign up. It's global non-KYC, so don't worry about your location. Anywhere in the world you can sign up, takes 30 seconds, and you will get access to a 15% trading fee discount exclusively with my link below. I want you to look at this screen here as well. Look at what that says there in the highlighted writing. Sign up to win 5,500 USDT, and then BingX is 4,000, right? So either exchange you pick, you're getting a chance to win those bonuses as well as my referral links. You're getting the 15% trading fee discount. Never been hacked before, low trading fees, global non-KYC, you can't go wrong. And one more quick thing here, my second YouTube channel, there will be a video posted there by the end of the month. If you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe. Guys, let's get into the content. Now, I'm going to flick through Bitcoin and Ethereum. What you're going to notice is very, very similar structures. So we've got two major green support levels, one major red resistance level. Exact same story with Ethereum, right? The range-bound structure is held up by this support zone down here, the same as Bitcoin. Bitcoin saw deviations from that support zone. Saw a deviation right here, and it saw a deviation to 57K there, which was validated by the bull market support band retest. Okay, these were deviations. They were not complete structural breakdowns because we managed to get back above them, right? You can see even on the deviations, they acted as resistance, and so these are critical support levels. Also, 61K is the monthly chart support zone. If you zoom back to the last cycle and you draw a level where the monthly candle closed, what you'll see is that it lines up perfectly with 61K, which has been the bottom on the vast majority of these corrective moves, right? So very clear structural support zone, exact same story for Ethereum. We then on Ethereum and Bitcoin have, let's delete this line here, have this mid-range level in green, right? So right now, Bitcoin's actually hovering below it. We'll discuss that in just a second here, but you can see a very clear mid-range level. It's acted as very important resistance on times I'm circling and support on times I'm circling as well. Acting as resistance right here, support briefly. We've just dropped below it quickly as well. And exact same story for Ethereum. Mid-range support and resistance level. Resistance and support on various occasions across the last few months, right? So, and then finally, I mean, the last thing is we've got this resistance level, the top of the range. Now, the all-time high breakout was not the top of the range. The top of the range was the level that was tested right before the all-time high breakout and right upon the all-time high breakout retracing back to support, right? That was a deviation to the upside, an upside deviation, and you can validate that clearly by looking at where the rest of the retests occurred within this price range. They all reoccurred within this 71 to 72K region. So forget 73K. If we break 72K, we're going to 73, right? So 73K is just a little wick to the upside. It was a little bit of over the trajectory was just too fast, too high. Markets were acting irrationally for a brief period of time. We went upwards a little bit too high there. Exact same story on Ethereum, and you can see on Ethereum the same story, right? This level acting as resistance, not the actual all-time high. So we have a range here on both Bitcoin and Ethereum that is filled with deviations, filled with wicks to the upside of a downside, right? Upside deviation here, downside deviation here and here. Same thing on Ethereum, upside deviation. There was no downside deviations on Ethereum, but what we know is that the overall range-bound structures are similar, if not the same, and so we can cross-analyze these charts a lot to get a better idea about what the probabilities are of this range of the price moving in certain ways within the range. So, for example, although Bitcoin right now is below its mid-range support zone, after a breakdown from an ascending wedge formation, which was predicted on this YouTube channel, by the way, that breakdown was perfect. We broke down. So although Bitcoin's just below that range-bound level, Ethereum is still actually above it. And so we're not really willing to say there has been a structural breakdown yet until Ethereum validates that breakdown, because we know these charts are highly connected based on the similarities in structure. So right now, although Bitcoin is below resistance, Ethereum's not. And so we know that something deep is going on here. And with that knowledge, all we need to do is look for what's going on. And it's very easy to see. If you bring up the bull market support band, you bring up the pi cycle center lines, you bring up the 200-day SMA, all of these indicators, right, these massively important support indicators are sitting right below Bitcoin right now. So why would we care that Bitcoin is just basically barely edged below support? It means nothing because we have so much support right below us. So am I concerned about Bitcoin right now? Not at all. I think this is validated by short-term analysis. We see Bitcoin in a massive structural uptrend here on the medium term, and we see the RSI in a structural downtrend in a descending channel formation. Not only is this a bullish divergence, a hidden bullish divergence with the lower lows in the RSI and the higher lows in the price chart, it's also a descending channel formation, and on top of that, it's bullish absorption, right? So this is very bullish retracement, a very bullish pullback. I don't expect it to last very long. It can last a little while. We can perhaps retrace downwards to something like 63.5k. That would not be concerning at all. But overall, I think that this will be a correction that, you know, we fast forward a week from now, or maybe even 10 days, you know, it depends how long it lasts. It's hard to say at this point. There's no new patterns that are formed. But if we fast forward a little bit, this will be in the rearview mirror. This is not something, in my opinion, that I'm concerned about. And for that reason, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin right now. I'm very bullish on Ethereum as well. Now, moving forward into altcoins and the altcoin market and altcoin season, we know the altcoin market is in a structural pattern it's copying from the last cycle, right? So we've got a 5-step pattern here. Now look at the steps. Look back to the last cycle. Step 1 was bottoming out. Step 2 was the retest of the bear market resistance. Step 3 was consolidating on top of that bear market resistance. Step 4 was the final consolidation with a retest of the step 3 highs. And step 5 was the explosion to the upside. Now within step 5, right, look at the date that step 5 occurred, January 2021. Go to Bitcoin dominance. What happened in January 2021? Well, in January 2021, that's exactly when we saw the cataclysmic drop on Bitcoin dominance, which was the start of the altcoin season, and hence the start of the euphoric parabolic stage. So this chart right here, this pattern, this 5-step pattern shows that after step 4, step 5 begins, and within step 5, we see the altcoin season. Right now, we are on step 4. That's good news. It's great news, actually, because it means the altcoin season is possibly, quite possibly, probably next, right? So we've retested the high from step 3. There was some mucking around. We dropped below an ascending support level. We dropped below bull market support band, all these levels. But ultimately, it seems as though it's the high from step 3 that really mattered, because that is the level we managed to bottom out on. And if we are to move upwards here next in the markets, we will likely be seeing the start of a parabolic altcoin season. This is validated by Bitcoin dominance right now. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see Bitcoin dominance in a very compressed structure, right? An ascending channel formation, which is a bearish formation. On top of that, we've got a resistance line compressing the price, and we have like no room to move here, meaning that in a very short period of time, we will likely be seeing a move either to the downside or the upside, a sharp move, the start of a next major leg on Bitcoin dominance. Now, if the trend persists, if the 5-step pattern persists, this move will be to the downside, and therefore altcoin season will be beginning, and this would line up with the market going upwards. So if we are to maintain these trends, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency as a whole, will go to the upside, breach all-time highs, and at the same time, the altcoin market will outperform Bitcoin. We'll see an altcoin season. The invalidation zone for this is breaking 56.9, which is our high here. If we break 56.9, we can be quite sure that something abnormal is happening, something unique is happening. That is the unlikely scenario due to the fact that the trend is your friend until it ends. So right now, I am quite confident, or at least I think it's the probable scenario that we see an altcoin season starting on this next move, which I think is coming for the markets. The one thing right now that is slightly concerning, the one single thing that is slightly concerning, is the Bitcoin S&P 500 correlation. Very strange stuff going on here. Bitcoin and the S&P 500. S&P 500 is here in white and Bitcoin is here in orange. They're correlated. They're heavily correlated. They have been for multiple years. And right now we are seeing a period of decorrelation. Not only decorrelation, but reverse correlation. This is quite concerning because obviously, the traditional markets generally leads the way. And if we're seeing reverse correlation here, if traditional markets go up, does that mean Bitcoin goes down? Like, what's going on here? The fact of the matter is it's acting irrationally. We want it to stop immediately so we get clarity on the markets. We've seen for the last month and a half, right? Almost 2 months now, which is a long time. Bitcoin going downwards, S&P going upwards, then Bitcoin going upwards, S&P going downwards. Like, what the hell is going on here? Something strange is going on here. This very rarely happens. Even if we're looking at the last time we saw decorrelation, it was back here between March and around October last year, but that wasn't reverse correlation, right? Bitcoin was going sideways, macro sideways, while the S&P was going up. That was decorrelation, not reverse correlation. We've actually taken it a step further this time. We've gone from correlation, past decorrelation, to reverse correlation. So there's something very strange happening. There are theories, like, there were narratives that affected Bitcoin and not traditional markets in the past, like Germany selling Mt. Gox, etc. You could argue that the attempted Trump assassination boosted Trump's positioning in the polls. Therefore, Bitcoin went upwards rather than traditional markets because Trump is more lenient on Bitcoin in terms of policy. You could make an argument there, but all these arguments are impossible to validate. We don't actually know why this is happening, and therefore it's kind of a mystery right now. And if it's a mystery, it's a threat, right? So there is something weird going on here, and that is probably the thing I'm watching very, very closely. I'm really hoping that correlation returns back to normal so we can be, again, very confident in what we're actually doing here, because as long as this correlation remains abnormal, everything we say is very hope-based rather than fact-based. We need the actual underlying movers of the markets to return back to what they usually do. If we're going to use historical trends, right, we need the function within those trends to maintain. So we'll see what happens there. If there's nothing we can do, it's just a waiting game. But right now, the charts are looking okay. Long term, they look okay. Medium term, they look okay. Short term, we could see more downside, but overall, things are looking good right now. So that's all I have to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, go ahead and check out our exchanges. 15% trading fee discount with my links down below. They are global, non-KYC. Anywhere in the world you can sign up. They've never been hacked. Check out the links down below and sign up. We've also got, again, our second channel. If you want to learn about psychology, history, philosophy, maybe even a bit of politics, it's all there. Check it out. The Crypto Academy course, Sale, we're teaching people how to trade in an educational format, okay? University-style format. If you're a verbal learner, practical learner, visual learner, whatever it may be, it's all there in the course. Very good value course, 30 hours of content. Everything you need to know is there. Check it out down below. And finally, our VIP group on Telegram, guys, right? We have on VIP 4 trading plans posted per week in video format with direct buying, stop loss recommendations, take profit recommendation. It's all there. And then a PDF with the historical trading results. On top of that, with the VIP membership, you're getting access to a group chat with 120 other VIP members where you can discuss the markets freely, which is extremely useful. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Check out those things. I'll catch you tomorrow.